dogs against Blue White Miracles, but we'll see what Kaider and his take on these Delver decks are capable of.
Yeah, again, Abrupt Decay likely going to shine here, as you mentioned. It is one of the few things that can deal with Counterbalance top.
As these players, looks like Kaider may be taking a mulligan right now to at least 6.
Yeah, I definitely like the Miracles deck. Now, as I kind of mentioned, this is more traditional. I don't particularly like the Stoneforged Mystic versions.
I don't either, really. I just don't think the deck needs it.
Yeah, honestly. Exactly. You kind of be a little more controlling and just, you know, no need to go with to kind of clog up your deck with Squires. His creature suite is 2 Vendilion Click, 1 Snapcaster Mage, 3 copies of Jace the Mind Sculptor. Of course, free. I'm sorry. Yeah, 3 copies of Counterbalance, 4 copies of Sensei's Divining Top, 2 Entreat, 3 Terminus. That's the Miracle package.
Yep. To go along with the Sensei's Tops. And then also you find 3 Spell Pierces along with 1 Spell Snare and 1 O-Ring as well. This O-Ring, just nice little one of catch-all. So we're going to see Karakas and Sensei's Divining Top to get us started. Kaider has kept his 7 while Alex did take a mulligan down to 6. Let's see how we're going to start this show off.
Just a Sensei's Divining Top on board for Alex Khanin.
Upkeep, we're going to spin it. Possibly looking for a land drop at this point.
There's a Volcanic Island.
We'll see Wasteland draw for Kaider this turn. Interesting to see if he's going to use it this turn to try to try to attack the mana, which he is.
Yep.
We'll see a top get spun in response.
Wasteland connects. Mana still floating there, just kind of hanging in midair. Until Kaider decides he wants to change phases, at which point I think Alex goes ahead and spins that top. So, okay, so let's go. I'm using that floating mana, spin the top, take a look. It's in a book. It's Reading Rainbow.
It is Reading Rainbow. Alright, happy, draw a card. Do you have another land?
I guess Sylvan Library is better, or more analogous to Reading Rainbow, right? You take a look, it's in a book. It's a library, though.
I understand.
You get it? Yeah. You get it? You get it?
No
See what I did there?
No third land for Alex. Unable to spin the top, and then he doesn't want to, spin top, draw a card, have top basically lock his draw step for the turn. So he is without a land right now. Kaider does not have a Wasteland to punish the Karakas, but it looks like we're going to see a Tarmogoyf potentially this turn.
That indeed looks like what's happening. We've got 2 mana, and there's the Goyf.
And Kaider does have a Daze at the ready to be able to stop any Swords to Plowshares or Path to Exile type things that can occur here.
Spinning the top, and hopefully digging for land, or hopefully digging to land for Alex. Alright, untaps, draws his card. Plays a Tundra. Passes back.
Alright, Tarmogoyf, you got some work to do.
Yeah, Squire Goyf right now. Just land in the graveyard. Polluted Delta. Underground Sea is gonna cast Ponder, as you mentioned.
Merfolk Ponder.
Yes. Tarmogoyf gonna grow. Just a little bigger. It is now 2/3. We see Ghastly Demise. We see, I believe, land, and I couldn't quite see what that blue card was. Definitely a, well, maybe we'll see what the blue card is now. What is that? Oh, it's a Delver, okay. It was a blue card, though. Tarmogoyf coming over for 2. I believe Delver's going to join the force. There it is. Resolves.
Still have access to a Stifle here. And we have Daze in our hand. Sitting pretty good for Kaider.
Yeah, threats on the board. Tarmogoyf is only going to grow until Alex can deal with it. Spin to the top. Trying to figure out how he wants to set things up. Finds a Terminus on top.
Is that good?
Miracle Trigger on the stack.
That is a trigger. That trigger is stifleable, correct?
It certainly is.
So I just wanted to make sure.
Kaider's going to very likely stifle this. Finds a tropical island off of his polluted delta. Stifle will also grow the Goyf. Alex shuffling.
Diligently.
Yes. And there, Alex says, I'm going to show you the... I'm sorry, Kaider says, I'm going to show you the Stifle a while. Since we're... while we're waiting. So, there's a Spell Pierce from Alex for that Stifle. And you can see a Daze there from Kaider.
Daze no good here, my friend.
Yeah, it's not gonna work. It's gonna make him tap the Caracas, but I don't think that's really what you want to use your Daze on.
Yeah.
So
bottoms up it is for those two creatures.
In fact, it may have been good to Daze there because the Terminus couldn't have been cast.
Oh yeah. Oh wow. We missed that.
I think we missed
Holy
that.
crap.
Kaider, I think, missed that too.
Wow, I can't believe we missed that. That's insane.
Yeah, I mean, the other thing is wait until or just Daze the Terminus, which would have been even better because he would have lost the Terminus.
Yeah.
If he dazes the Spell Pierce, and he pays, then he can't cast the Terminus, but it's in his hand.
Yeah.
So
and it turns out Alex did have a Force Will in his hand with a Vanilla Click to remove. So if he did daze it, he would have forced it and then been able to pay. So it turns out that's okay.
Sure, but he would have used up a Force of Will. You know what I mean? There was definitely a missed opportunity there. So another Tarmogoyf.
Tarmogoyf die all over the place.
Yes. Wow, Kaider's Tarmogoyf only cost 1.
And we see a fourth land, excuse me. One of Alex's lands did get wastelanded earlier in this game, so we finally see an Arid Mesa, which is obviously quite good with the Sensei's Divining Top as one of the land drops to hit this turn.
Yeah, just to be clear, Kaider paid 2 for the Tarmogoyf, dazed the Force of Will, and replayed the land. Just so we're clear. For those of you who may not have caught that.
We see an Arid Mesa being sacrificed, Alex paying a life, and he's asking, is this okay? Do you have a Stifle again?
Kaider's gonna fetch.
And we're going to see an Abrupt Decay here, targeting the Sensei's Divining Top. And the reason being, of course, is there's a fetch land on the stack. So if he does want to draw a card with the Sensei's Divining Top, he is going to have to shuffle it away.
Yep.
Or he can just not search for a land.
Exactly. It's kind of like a weird browbeat version of Stifle. Where he's like, it's kind of like a stifled your fetch land. Alright, so he's going to shuffle away the top. Yeah, it's fine
Top
with
goes
that.
away, so relatively effective Abrupt Decay. Not
Sure.
the best Abrupt Decay we've ever seen, but getting top off the table against this deck is a very big deal.
Sure, it's very relevant. He dealt with the top. That's a tough card to deal with. Tundra now on the table for Alex.
Now we're going to see Counterbalance. Okay.
Woo.
Now there's a card worth Abrupt Decay, but we don't have one right now.
Yeah. No Snapcasters in Kaider's deck, so he's going to have to draw another Abrupt Decay. Fortunately for him, he's got 2 more.
We see Tarmogoyf coming across what looks to be 3 damage.
Yeah, I believe it's just instant sorcery land.
Khadir did draw Stifle for the turn, which doesn't have much use right now, so Stifle and Spell Pierce are the last 2 cards in his hand.
Alex, no land drop, no play, passes back. Brainstorm off the top for Khadir.
Go, go!
If you filled it out with us before, we can verify that you have the correct information on file. You check in with either Aaron or myself.
Just attempting a main phase Brainstorm. Is this okay?
Counterbalance trigger.
Arid Mesa.
Shows Arid Mesa on top. Brainstorm.
That does resolve. Or does it?
Seems to still be on the stack at the moment. That was just a quick scribble for
Vendilion Click. This is with Brainstorm on the stack.
Yeah, Brainstorm on the stack, Vendilion Click coming down. Does that resolve? Now what Khadir could do is stifle the trigger.
Could. I would be surprised if he did. I don't think there's...
I would also be surprised if he
I
did.
don't think there's anything worth stifling on this particular Vendilion Click trigger. Might be better off trying to just hold the Stifle. Maybe he doesn't take it. There is the Stifle plus Caracas interaction with Vendilion Click right now as well. That is on the table for Alex. So maybe you can get him there if he leaves it, which he does do. My Brainstorm okay now? It is. 2, 3.
Strange place to play a click.
I agree.
Look at your opponent's hand, and then he's going to do what he wants to change the complexion of his hand.
So we see an Abrupt Decay drawn.
I mean, therapy's fine, especially if you really do not.
Stifle and land going back, trying to mix it up a little bit here. Khadir's going to play a Wasteland, pretty good draw. That'd be time to take care of that Caracas, I would think. Just because the interaction with Vendilion Click and Caracas is pretty good at blocking Tarmogoyf right now.
Yeah, Khadir's thinking the same thing here, I think. Also figuring, you know, what does he want to use the Abrupt Decay on? Probably the Counterbalance. No, he's going to waste a Tundra.
Okay.
Interesting. Okay. Yeah.
Yes, another way to look at it, if your Khadir is, he only has, he's going to take care of the Abrupt Decay right now.
Yeah.
Or take care of the Counterbalance. He only has 1 blue mana. There is an Arid Mesa coming off the top. So I guess it'll give him the 2nd blue. I may have taken out the Caracas there.
Yeah, I imagine he was thinking about that interaction, but there's a possibility he just wasn't thinking about it there. All right, well,
We're in for 3.
Click coming over.
Tarmogoyf is going to move up a little bit because there is an enchantment in the grave right now, so it's probably a 4/5 at least. We've got it. Now we have the swords. Spell Pierce ain't going to do too much.
Yeah, make him crack his fetch line. That's about it. Now having that Stifle available would have been nice, except he wouldn't have had the mana for it.
Yeah.
For both Stifle and Spell Pierce.
Yeah.
So Goyf goes away.
Now there wasn't much of a reason to Abrupt Decay the Counterbalance when he did. It didn't need to die immediately, from what I can tell. Obviously, you want that card off of the table.
Right.
But he could have taken care of Khadir. He could have taken care of the Counterbalance at any time.
Sure.
Now he's got himself what they call Brainstorm locked, in which his next 2 draw steps are what they are.
Yeah.
He can't get by them.
He already knows what they are. Click coming over again. Knocks Khadir to 15.
Not only that, he can't ever get Vendilion Click off the table now either because of the Caracas. He can stifle Caracas activation if things work out his way and he draws the necessary cards to be able to do that, and Alex has to have nothing.
Yep. Ooh. Click battles on.
A Guru
Khadir, I believe, now at 12. And a Nimble Mongoose from Khadir. Somehow trying to bite the Click's ankles there. Alright. Click. And again. We get a life total update, Jesse?
Sure.
I believe Kaider should be at 12 currently, and possibly 9, or likely 9 after this attack step, if the 12 is correct. Draws another Spell Pierce, so it's Pierce, Stifle in Kaider's hand.
Not so good.
And in with the Nimble Mongoose. I believe that's just a 1-power Mongoose. We can't see the cards in Kaider's graveyard beyond the Abrupt Decay sitting on top. Oh, apparently it was. Maybe it does have Threshold.
Yeah. I feel like it does have Threshold. He's gone through a lot of cards this game so far.
Yeah.
Racing.
Yep.
Race favors one person. See an island coming to play.
Both players just bashing back and forth with their 3-power dudes.
Deathray Shaman, pretty good draw there.
Yeah, Deathray Shaman for Kaider could really make an impact. So there goes the Mongoose again.
Yeah. That's game.
Oh,
Okay.
Game 1, yeah.
Yeah, it's game 1.
It's a weird little half handshake kind of thing. It's like, well, yeah.
I was like, this is game 1, right?
Yeah, exactly. I saw the handshake. I had to look back up.
Yeah. But Alex Khanin able to take down game 1 against Kaider Sheen.
By the skin of his teeth, really. He was at 4. His opponent had 4 power on the board. Unfortunately for Kaider. 3 life against a Vendilion Click. Not a good matchup. So, looks like Alex is going to take a quick break during sideboarding. Kaider going to take the extra time to consider how he wants to board against the Blue-White Miracles deck. How do you think he wants to board?
It's a question. I'm taking a look at Kaider's deck list. He is down a game right now. You'll find 2 Crozen Grips, which are actually pretty good here. I think this deck relying heavily on both Counterbalance and Senses Divine top. Grip is completely reasonable. An additional Abrupt Decay, great card in this particular matchup as well. I don't really like Surgical Extraction very much. Golgari Charm is kind of meh. Life from the Loam is okay if he wants to try to make an attempt at waste locking him, but again, just like with other Miracle decks, there are a lot of basic lands in this Miracle deck as well. 7 basics, 5 islands and 2 plains. And you can find 2 Thoughtseize as well, which is a pretty good card for the beginning turns of the game. Much worse in the mid to late turns of the game as well. There are only 2 copies here, so I don't love those coming in, but there are some cards that Kaider can board out, like Ghastly Demise. Spell Pierce, not anything phenomenal in this matchup either. So,
yeah, on Alex's side, I imagine you're facing down a very similar deck to Rug Delver. In fact, kind of thinking about it during that game and looking more at the list, I actually wonder if Rug Delver is a little more scary for the Miracle deck, just because instead of Lightning Bolts, Kaider has dead removal spells, mostly dead removal spells.
Yeah.
And he has access to something like Ghastly Demise. He has the Abrupt Decays. That's a nice advantage there, just because of the Counterbalance top combo, as we've mentioned several times. But other than that, there's not a lot of reach to the deck. You can kind of consider Deathrite Shaman very similar to Grim Lavamancer in the matchup. Could actually be better than Grim Lavamancer, but actually probably is better than Grim Lavamancer in the matchup. But as far as sideboarding goes, I imagine you sideboard very similarly to the way you would sideboard against Rug Delver. And you bring in he's got 3 copies of Red Blast. Seem like those are definitely coming in. You can bring in an Engineered Explosives, an additional one. He's got 2 main. Explosives on 1 is a great way to deal with the majority of Kaider's threats. He's also got access to another Terminus, another Vendilion Click, and another Counterspell potentially, another Counterbalance. I mean, he knows that the Abrupt Decays are in there. Maybe he says, I expect my Counterbalances to go away. Then on the other hand, maybe he just says, I'm not even going to try using Counterbalance. I don't know. If I'm Alex, I'd probably keep it.
I think I stick with Counterbalance and force Kaider to draw Abrupt Decay.
It is actually really good. So I think boarding in the 4th Counterbalance is where I'd be. And a Path to Exile. Just 1 more removal spell. The majority of Kaider's threats can be hit with with removal.
Especially once you've seen Deathrite Shaman as well.
Yeah.
So that means he has more creatures than a normal Rug Delver deck has.
Good point.
Additionally, when you're playing against these Delver type decks, be it Rug or Bug Delver, you know that these guys do not have any basic lands.
Sure, Path looks real good.
Yeah, Path is a very, very good card.
And Tarmogoyf, pretty frightening. Being able to deal with it for 1 mana and not even giving them a land seems pretty good.
It's a pretty big game. Pretty big game.
Yeah. So, Alex comes back, quickly sideboarding.
Seems like he's got a pretty good idea of what he wants to do here.
Yeah. Either that or he's just aware of the fact that he, you know, he's taking up time by taking a quick break, and so he's just kind of rushing through it. Not really where he wants to be, but possibly the reason for his speed, or his haste. Kaider's apparently ready.
So it's going to be interesting to see exactly what happens on table 4. If those guys are playing it out and Alex is able to get another game here, Alex will be sliding his way into the top 8 at 8th place. But if those guys draw and Alex wins this match, it will be all up to tiebreakers and the Magic Gods.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see. I mean, this match has a lot of implications for Alex. There's still a chance that he makes top 8 if those guys choose to draw and he wins. So it'll be very interesting.
Yeah, it is kind of crazy how just a few percentage points can make a huge difference.
Yeah, it really can.
Actually, a few tenths or hundredths of a percentage point can make a difference. Now, just wanted to note, 9th on Breakers yesterday, Joe Bass currently has drawn into the top 8, and he did something similar in New Orleans, where I think he may have top 16'd, or definitely top 32'd, if not top 16, and that was in Standard, and then in Legacy, top 8s and makes the finals. So, again, running it back, having a pretty solid performance in Standard, and then a very solid performance in Legacy.
Nice little run over the past 3 weeks.
Darren Menard, another player, has run it back. Even more impressive, has top 4'd today in Standard. Well, yesterday and today in Standard, and now has top 8'd Legacy.
It's been a long day for Darren.
Sure has.
I'm going to wait for a long time, just battling away. But I dig it. I dig the battles.
Absolutely. Trying to remember what some of these other guys have done. We know Jonathan Paoletta is on Goblins.
Woohoo!
So Goblins apparently in the top 8. Not quite sure about any of the other decks. We've got Kyle Edwards. We've got, and this is just the standings after round 7. Kyle Edwards, Michael Baker, Joe Bass, Darren Menard, Jonathan Paoletta, Colin Chilbert or Chilbear. I'm not sure exactly how
I like
to
both.
pronounce it.
Both versions are good.
Yeah. Sang Jung or Young. Christopher Walker. That's the top 8 we have after round 7. Now, we know the top 6 all drew. And so that leaves Sang Jung and Christopher Walker in the position to play or draw. As you mentioned, Alex winning here and those 2 guys drawing will put Alex into the top 8 and one of those guys into the top 8, one of them staring in from the outside.
Alex winning here screws everything up.
Yes.
But he does still have to get another game in what looks to be a relatively favorable matchup for him.
So far, he's up a game, so good place to be.
Can't
a Miracles
complain. Cannot complain. He's just looking through his sideboard one more time, making sure he's happy. He's going to take a mulligan really quickly. It looks like he's taking a mulligan. I can't tell. Maybe he's shuffling more.
Yeah, I didn't quite see the opener, and I didn't see an opener from Kaider either, so. I don't see an opener from Kaider, so I don't think they've drawn. They had a little bit of extra time there. Alex had to step away for a moment. If you're just joining us, you're watching SCG Live, the StarCityGames.com Legacy Open Series, coming to you guys live from Dallas, Fort Worth. I'm Joey Pasco, joined by Cedric Phillips in the booth. We're in the final round. Game 2 about to happen on camera here between Alex Khanin and his Blue-White Miracles list versus Kaider, Sheen and Bug Delver. Very classic legacy day today. I think we've seen a lot of the staples, some kind of interesting lists. We saw a Bug Explorer deck that apparently was designed by Caleb Durward, as according to Twitter. I haven't seen proof, but Twitter says so.
So it must be the truth.
Must be the truth.
As we see Kaider and Alex keep their opening hands. Kaider is going to lead off with a Tropical Island and a Mongoose. And we're going to see Alex fetch with a Flooded Strand, attempt to cast Sense's Divine Top off a Guru Plains, and get it dazed. A dazed in 3. You got to pick that up. There you go.
Yeah.
That card's not that good. So little Mongoose is on his way to becoming a full grown-up.
Yeah, 1/7 of the way there.
So you drop in for 1. Any big follow-ups?
No land. I'm sorry, he played a land.
Yeah, he
Wait a
played a
second.
land, as we see.
It's like, no second land. Well, that's because the first land was replayed. Yeah.
We'll see an end-step Brainstorm here from Kaider. Second top from Alex there, kind of a backbreaker. When you daze the first one, or if you force the first one, and how important it is to this deck, you're kind of hoping, all right, I took care of one.
I dealt with it, right.
Yeah, I really hope there's not another one.
Alex fetching basics against the Wasteland deck. Takes another hit from the Mongoose. And Kaider follows it up with a Deathrite Shaman.
Is that okay? May I fetch as well?
Appears to be okay. Misty Rainforest now. Gonna search up an island or a forest. It's a swamp island. An island swamp.
I think we're going to see a Ponder here as well. He may just keep him stifled though.
Top spinning. End of turn for Alex. Sets up his top 3. Untaps. Draws. What do we got?
We see a Mystic Gate.
Mystic Gate from Shadowmoor block.
And counterbalance.
Lowen block. And yeah.
So he is already
He's attempting to soul bond, I think.
He's going to establish the lock right now.
Soul bond achieved. Counterbalance top. Now Kaider's already got 2 threats on board. He's on his way to threshold. So until Alex really deals with those threats, counterbalance top, could sit there all day until Alex decides he wants to deal with Mongoose and Deathrite Shaman.
It's interesting that Kaider took the opportunity to fetch last turn for an Underground Sea and then opted not to cast Ponder to try to hold up Stifle. But against this deck, Stifle just isn't that great of a card. It's fine, but it's not anything spectacular.
He just wants to stifle the miracle triggers.
Yeah.
I mean, that's one of the more appealing things to do. He's going to waste away the Mystic Gate. Yep.
I think you have to try to cast Ponder here. I mean, yeah, maybe not. Like, it makes him put top on top, potentially. One thing that he does get to do with this, he does get to build his graveyard, as we're going to see Swords to Plowshares get revealed.
Yeah, so Ponder countered with Counterbalance. Alex is going to go ahead and spin top, decide what card he wants. We see a Brainstorm in the top 3, in addition to the Swords to Plowshares. Not quite sure what the third card is. And still unsure, as Alex quickly puts it in his hand out of our sight. So, Scalding Tarn, and pass back. Alex at 15, Kaider at 19. Still a lot of game left.
Five cards in the graveyard here. So just an attack for 2, putting him at 13. Kaider's really got to do whatever it takes to get that Mongoose large so you can start attacking with it for relevant points of damage, because this game, the longer it goes, the worse it is for Khaner.
Absolutely.
He needs to get this game over with as fast as he can.
Top spins at the end of turn.
You're going to see a Brainstorm here.
Alex trying to get some fresh cards on top. He's gonna brainstorm and then he's gonna shuffle away, most likely, whatever he puts back. Khader doesn't seem to know exactly what he wants to do about that. Lets it resolve.
Yeah. Khaner needs to. It's clear to me. Khaner needs to establish some sort of game plan on what he wants to try to do to win this game.
Yeah, putting a couple more cards in the graveyard, even if they're just countered, might actually be a way, a route to victory for him, because it's going to make his clock, that much shorter.
Because now, there was a Brainstorm on the stack. He thought about that for a little while to see if it was going to resolve or not, as we see Golgari Charm choosing Destroy Target Enchantment mode on Counterbalance. But you saw him thinking about countering that Brainstorm, and it's like, if you're Alex, it's like, well, there's only one card that you could reasonably use to counter my Brainstorm, which is Force of Will. So now it's just a dead tell and a dead giveaway that, all right, my opponent has Force of Will in his hand.
Sure.
So we see Alex is going to fetch with Golgari Charm on the stack, targeting Counterbalance. Counterbalance Trigger has not resolved yet either, so we could see a top here looking to try to counter the two.
Yeah, I imagine that's what we're going to see. Charm still on the stack, yeah. Khader seems to have given up, even though he's the one with the threats on the table.
Yeah. He's the one with the threats on the clock.
Yeah. So, Alex looking for a 2 on top doesn't seem like he's found it, or else it would have likely been a lot quicker. And yeah,
Well,
Counterbalance goes away. It's not even an abrupt decay, but it apparently was also uncounterable. That's got to put some life into Khader's game plan. Meantime,
Billing click main phase here.
looks like that. Khader with 6 cards now in the graveyard.
And again, you've given it away pretty badly that you do have. You've given it away pretty badly that you do have Force of Will in your hand. So I feel like he's almost has to force this card.
Right, and he does. And that also attains Threshold for Khader, so doubly good right now. Click goes away.
Simon Mongoose is all grown up, and
Yes.
Deathrite Shaman, as we're going to see Source of Plowshares on Deathrite Shaman, bringing Khader up to 19. Deathrite Shaman was going to attempt to start going upstairs, but he can't do that. Now we have Alex on a 4-turn clock, as Closing Grip is the card drawn for the turn. 3 turns to go for Khader.
Yeah,
Can I hold on? Can I beat top plus Alex's cards in hand?
Jace the Mind Sculptor. If Jace resolves, Khader now has to defeat 2 Planeswalkers. Jace looks like he's going to brainstorm. At least, I don't know, did he resolve? He looks like,
he resolved.
With the counters on there, I think you say he resolved.
I'm going to stifle the Brainstorm.
Stifle the Brainstorm, spicy. That is something. I have a feeling that 1 Planeswalker's going down this turn. Attack Jace? I don't think Alex has an answer.
Sack this. Okay, so he drew Abrupt Decay this turn, so we're going to see the Abrupt Decay Sensei's Divining Top game now.
Not sure what the pause is about here. I know Alex just cracked a Flooded Strand.
Well, Khader has Abrupt Decay in his hand. So it's considered Abrupt Decay
Oh, sure.
Sensei's Divining Top.
Okay. I see what you mean. I thought Alex stopped. I thought Alex cracked the Flooded Strand and then like paused.
Alright, so he's going to let that go.
Okay. Fetch happening.
It's going to bring Alex down to 8. Still going to leave him at that 3-turn clock.
don't try to path the Nimble Mongoose.
I agree. It would be very difficult for you.
Pretty sure Alex is not attempting to do that, but
I'm going to spin the top. I'm going to try to hit a Terminus, is what it looks like.
yeah, that's what it looks like.
There's no way you can let this go. You got your chance at Sensei's Divining Top, you have to take it. And there's the Abrupt Decay. You get to draw your card. Is it a
Apparently not
Terminus?
Terminus.
Is your Jace that?
And
It is.
Jace goes away. So, very good turn for Kaider. Deals with all the permanents on Alex's side of the board. And still has his clock. Finds and treat the
That
Angels
is
off the
a
top.
very good draw. That is one heck of a draw step right there.
Broodmate Dragon. Brian Kibler.
And the reason he didn't do it for 3 there was to play around Days being the last
Sure,
card.
exactly.
So we're going to see another Sensei's Divining Top. Alex saying, I don't even care that you killed my second one of the game.
Yeah. I've got another one. So Alex puts the brakes on Kaider Sheen's plan of Nimble Mongoosing him to death. Kaider passes back with no attacks. Understandably.
Yeah. And in a game that looked like it was possibly slipping away from Alex, you know, he still had some time, he still had some more draw steps, is right back where he wants it. He can attack with one Angel, leave the other one back on defense, and activate Sensei's Divining Top over and over. And my Lord in heaven.
Jay's the mind scalper from Alex.
I'm going to start going upstairs now. I want to see your library.
Yeah, what do you got there? You can keep it. And Kaider says, oh, it's Force of Will. I guess it's not that good when you don't cast spell. You're not going to cast any spells.
And now Alex has taken complete control, just as Miracles can.
Yeah, so looks like Alex looked like he was going to cast a spell. Remembers there's
I thought
a
it was
Force
going
of
to be
Will.
Counterbalance.
Yeah, and there it is, Counterbalance. And Kaider can force this.
Kind of a hopeless Force of Will.
Yeah, it's just like, I guess, yeah, Force of Will, all right, okay. Kaider should drop to 14 here, I guess, from that Force of Will. As long as that life total is correct.
Yeah.
So, Counterbalance goes away.
Now Alex can send in with both of his Angel tokens now, so he's going to draw a card with Sensei's Divining Top. He's going to play Engineering Explosives for 1. He's going to Fate Seal.
Alex playing very quickly now, feeling like he has a very clear road, no traffic.
Oh, would you say it's
He's
clear?
just cruising. He's just cruising
So
along.
you can keep that one. I'm going to blow... Am I going to blow this up now? Okay, it does have one counter on it. Yep. I'm going to blow this up.
Yeah, kill
I'm gonna get you with
your
both
threat.
the Angels.
2-turn clock.
He didn't attack.
Did he not? Wow, that is strange.
That's strange, no attack.
Yeah.
Maybe playing a little too fast. There we go.
Yeah. It was a 2-turn clock. Gave him a 3rd turn.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes you accidentally just speed right through a stop sign by accident. And it just happens.
Speak for yourself, Joey.
In this imaginary world where Magic the Gathering is apparently driving on an open road when you're in Alex's driver's seat. You know, the driver's seat as Alex is right now.
We see Explosives for 2, take care of the Sylvan Library. We're going to see a Fate Sealer from Jace. You can keep that card and you can go ahead and die, my friend. This game is over.
There it is. Alex Khanin and Jace the Mind Sculptor defeat Kaider Sheen 2-0. Kaider destroys Sensei's Divining Top number 1, destroys Sensei's Divining Top number 2, cannot deal with number 3, destroys